the dual mirror, the hidden truth about reality and the self.
Most people spend their entire lives looking in the wrong mirror. They believe the world around them defines who they are. Their circumstances, their success, their failures, their relationships. All of it appears to reflect something about them. But what if this idea is backwards? What if the world is not the mirror of your identity, but the mirror of your consciousness? And if that is true, it means there's one hidden shift that can quietly change the direction of your entire life. We will come back to that in a moment. For thousands of years, philosophers and mystics have hinted at this mystery. They spoke about a hidden connection between the inner world and the outer world, a strange relationship between awareness and reality itself. Imagine standing between two mirrors. One mirror reflects the world outside of you, people, events, opportunities, challenges. The other mirror reflects your inner state, your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your attention. Now, here is the surprising part. The outer mirror does not simply show reality as it is. It responds to the inner one. When the inner reflection changes slowly, almost mysteriously, the outer one begins to change too. This is what we call the dual mirror. And understanding this mirror can completely change the way you see yourself and the world you live in. From the moment we enter the world, we begin building an identity. We receive a name, a nationality, a personality. Expectations appear from family, school, and society. Slowly and quietly, we begin constructing a story about who we are. You become the student, the professional, the successful one, or sometimes the struggling one. But if you look closely, something interesting appears. All of these identities are roles. They are like costumes worn by the mind. And the mind is very convincing. It constantly narrates your life, thoughts, judgments, memories, worries about the future. Most people believe that voice in their head is who they are. But pause for a moment and consider something simple. If you can observe your thoughts, if you can notice them appear and disappear, then who is doing the observing? Thoughts come and go. Emotions rise and fall. Ideas appear, linger for a moment, and then fade away. Yet something remains. Something is aware of all of it. That silent presence, the one noticing the thoughts, is closer to your true self than the thoughts themselves. You are not the voice. You are the awareness hearing it. And the moment you begin to notice this, a quiet shift begins to happen. Now, here's where life becomes even more interesting. The world around us is full of systems. They compete for our attention. Social expectations, trends, political ideas, cultural beliefs. These systems grow stronger the more attention people give them. The more energy they receive, the more powerful they become. Eventually, they begin shaping behavior. They tell us what success should look like, what happiness should look like, what we should desire, what we should fear. Without realizing it, many people spend their entire lives reacting to these forces. They chase approval, they fear rejection, they pursue goals they never truly chose. And in doing so, they gave away their most valuable resource, their attention. But something remarkable happens when a person begins to step back, When they begin to observe their thoughts, their reactions, and the forces influencing them, for the first time, they begin reclaiming their awareness. They step outside of the script, and that is where freedom quietly begins. But there is a deeper question hiding underneath all of this. If your thoughts are constantly changing and your emotions come and go, then who is the one that is aware of them? This shift is often called the observer. The observer is not a belief. It's not a philosophy. It is simply a position of awareness. Imagine sitting beside a river. Leaves float along the surface of the water. Each leaf appears, drifts for a moment, and then disappears. Thoughts behave in the same way. They appear, they remain constant for a moment, then they pass away. But when we identify with them, we jump into the river. We fight the current. We try to control where every leaf goes. This struggle creates much of the tension people experience. But when you simply observe, something surprising happens. The thoughts lose their power. The mind becomes quieter. And beneath the noise of thinking, a deeper stillness begins to appear. Many people have felt a moment like this before, perhaps while sitting quietly, perhaps while walking in nature. For a brief moment, the constant thinking stops, and there is only awareness. Simple, silent presence. From this stillness, clarity grows. And from this clarity, the true nature of the dual mirror begins to reveal itself. When you step into the observer position, you begin to notice something subtle about reality. Your inner state influences what you experience. A mind filled with fear notices threats everywhere. A mind filled with anger finds conflict everywhere. But a mind grounded in clarity begins to notice opportunities that were invisible before. Reality begins to feel different. It is almost as if the world responds to the state of your consciousness. Think of it like tuning a radio. The station you hear depends on the frequency you tune into. Your consciousness works in a similar way. Your beliefs, your expectations, and your emotional state influence how you experience the world. Over time, those perceptions guide your decisions, your actions, and the direction your life begins to take. The outer mirror starts reflecting the inner mirror. That does not mean you control everything in life. In fact, the opposite is true. The more desperately we try to force reality to obey us, the more resistance we create. But when we bring clarity, presence, and intention to our inner state, life begins flowing with less friction. Opportunities appear more naturally. Decisions become clearer. And the strange moments people call coincidence begin to appear more often. It is almost as if reality responds when consciousness becomes aligned. Many teachers throughout history pointed towards this realization. Krishna described external consciousness. Buddha explained that suffering comes from attachment. Lao Tzu spoke about the Tao, the natural flow of life that appears when we stop resisting. Different cultures, different words, but the same discovery. When you stop clinging to the reflection, you begin to recognize the awareness behind it. You are not simply the character in the story. You are the awareness experiencing the story. The world is not simply something happening to you. It is something responding to the state of your consciousness. And once you realize that, you stop trying to control life. You begin changing the one thing that quietly shapes everything. your awareness. So instead of trying to force the reflection to change, shift the awareness standing before the mirror and watch what begins to transform. If these ideas resonate with you and you want to explore them more deeply, I created a free reality transurfing video series that explains these ideas in much greater detail. You'll learn how attention, intention, and awareness interact with reality and how to begin shaping the direction of your life. You can find the link to the free series and our community of like-minded seekers in the first comment. Join us there and continue the journey. Some people will hear ideas like this and simply move on, but others will feel something different. A quiet recognition, almost like remembering something they always knew. If that is you, then maybe you are ready to be one of the seekers, one of the observers, one of the conscious creators who are beginning to see reality in a new way. If that resonates with you, write the word observer in the comments. It is always interesting to see how many people are awakening to this perspective. And if you'd like to continue exploring these ideas together, subscribe to the channel and join our community of seekers. Because sometimes the most powerful discoveries in life are not about finding something new. They come from finally noticing the mirror that was there the entire time.